Hey guys, so here's the notes for 8.1. We're going to find angle measures and polygons. Well, let's kind of talk first about what a polygon is. It's basically a shape that has two or more sides, okay? So what we're going to be doing is finding the angle measures of inside a polygon and outside. So notice here it says the sum of the measures of the interior angles. So remember, interior means inside. So angles that are inside the polygon is n minus 2 times 180. Now the sum of the exterior angles, that means outside of the polygon, one at each vertex, or one angle at each vertex is 360 degrees, okay? Now, a diagonal polygon is a segment that joins two non-consecutive vertices. That's just something that you might need to know. Okay, so basically, this first part, Theorem 8.1, polygon of an interior angles theorem, we just talked about that. The sum of the measures of the interior angles of a convex. So basically, everything that we're going to be doing is called convex, so you're going to see that word a lot. But just know that's everything that we're doing. Of an n-gon, so n represents the number of sides. So number of sides of the polygon is n minus 2 times 180. Okay? So we added up all the angles of no matter what, we will get that 180. So we have n minus 2 times 180. So notice here we have our little example. Notice how many angles there are. So that's going to also tell us how many sides we have. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So n, as I said, represents the number of sides of a polygon. Okay, so you'll have to count, and that kind of also tells us how many angles we have, and we can use that to find the interior angles. Okay, let's do our first one. So find the sum of angle measures in a polygon. So the sum of the measures of the interior, remember that's mean sides, angles of a convex hexagon. Okay, now there are going to be some words that you will need to know. So let's kind of go over those for right now. Okay, so we know that when we have three sides, that is called a triangle, right? Okay. When we have four sides, that can either be a rectangle or a square. Okay, I think those you definitely know. Now let's kind of get into when we go a little bit higher. 5 sides, okay? That's what we call a pentagon. So if you see the words, that means that has 5 sides to the polygon. 6 sides, that's going to be a hexagon. 7 sides, that's going to be called a heptagon. And make sure you're writing this down because you will have to know this information. And it's going to be helpful when you do the homework assignment, okay? So what about 8? That should be our octagon. Okay. And remember, if I'm going too fast for the notes, you can always pause and write down what I have on my screen. Okay, now we're going to do 9 and we're going to do 10 sides. So 9 sides is going to be a nonagon. And then 10 is going to be a decagon. And then anything higher than 10, we're just going to say whatever the number of sides is, and then gon. So if we have 11 sides, that's just going to be 11-agon. Or if it's 12, that's going to be a 12-gon, and say so on. Okay? So make sure you have all of these written down, all the way up to 10 sides here. Okay? Okay, now let's go and go back to our example 1. So it was asking us, okay, find the sum of the measures of the interior angles of a hexagon. Now, the nice part is they also gave us a picture, so we could just count the sides. But just to know the word is also helpful. So notice we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So our n value here is 6. So using the formula, we have the sum equals n minus 2 times 180. So we're going to plug 6 in for n, because that's the number of sides a hexagon has. So we have 6 minus 2 times 180. Okay, so we do 6 minus 2, that gives us 4. We do 4 times 180. Plug that into your calculator, and we should get 720 degrees. That's the sum of the interior angles of a hexagon. Okay, let's go ahead and do example number 2. This is once again still using our formula here. Okay, find the number of sides of a polygon. So we're reversing it. So last time they gave us how many sides, and we had to find the sum of the interior. This time they are going to give us the sum of the interior, and we have to find the number of sides. So the sum of the measures of the interior angles of a convex polygon is 2,700 degrees. We need to classify the polygon by the number of sides. So we are going to use the formula of the sum of the interior angles equals n minus 2 times 180. Now we know the sum of the interior angles. It's 2,700. So we are trying to find the value of n. So notice this is going to be just a multi-step equation. So the first thing we need to do is get rid of that 180. Now notice it's doing times 180. So what's the opposite of multiplying? That would be dividing. So we're going to divide both sides by 180. So once again, you can use your calculator. So you can do 2,700 divided by 180. That gives us 15. Now we're trying to get n all by itself. Okay. So our next thing is I'm going to add 2 to both sides. And I get n equals 17. So the polygon that has a sum of the interior angles as 2,700 is going to be a 17 gon. And that's my final answer. Okay, make sure you watch part 2 of this 8.1 note.